Hello everyone and welcome to Soul Ascension Tarot. My name is Whitney and I'm an intuitive tarot reader. In today's video we are going to be taking a look at what is your life purpose. I'm not really sure what kind of messages are going to come through. I kind of kept it pretty open because I feel like we as humans kind of have a different idea as to what a life purpose is compared to what spirit or the divine's idea of what a life purpose is. I'm not sure if we're gonna have some career things come through or if we're just going to receive some messages from the divine as to how they want to use you at this time. As always, I have 3 piles in front of me. You can pause the video if you need to allow yourself some more time to allow your intuition to guide you to a pile. I have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Timestamps will be in the description down below. Also, keep in mind that this is a collective message, so everything may not resonate with you, and that's okay. Only take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. I'm currently not taking personal readings at this time, so please don't be scammed by anyone who might reach out to you pretending to be me offering a reading to you. If you'd like to support me and my channel and my work, you can do so by simply liking, sharing this video, and also subscribing because I intend to upload at least 3 videos a week. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the reading, and I will see you in the pile that you've chosen. Hello, pile number 1, and welcome to your reading. I have here all of your tarot cards, and we'll get to your oracle cards at the end. So you guys have Judgment, 3 of Swords, and 3 of Pentacles. One of the first things that's coming through for me in regards to your life purpose is I do feel like in some type of way your purpose revolves around community or you working with other people. Another thing that I'm also hearing is that your life purpose, it revolves around I'm hearing for some of you it's related to something you've experienced in your past life or even in your childhood. So one thing I'm kind of picking up on is an example of maybe in the past you may have struggled with connecting with other people, or maybe you struggled in relationships, or you struggled in with heartbreak or something like that. But there's been a level of healing that you've done within yourself, and I feel like whatever you experienced in the past, you're going to be able to use that information and knowledge and wisdom that you've gained through your experiences, and you're going to use these things in a community aspect. So for some of you, you may be a leader, and for some reason I'm hearing you guys are a waker upper. I'm hearing for some of you your purpose is going to involve waking people up. It's making me think of I don't know, I probably can't pronounce her name. I think it's Liana something, but she's I think she's I don't know, it's in the mainstream, she's known as a, is it a counselor or a life coach or something like that. But that's just some of the things that's coming through. I feel like for some of you, I feel like part of your purpose is bringing communities together, healing communities in some way. So I don't know, maybe social work is in the cards for you, but I don't feel like your life purpose revolves around an actual job. It just feels like something you feel called to do. It's something I feel like it comes very natural to you, and I feel like it comes naturally to you because it's something there's something about you being able to use your past experiences and using these experiences to help benefit the people around you, your community. I get the sense that a lot of people come to you for advice or direction, but I do feel like your purpose does revolve around bringing some type of balance and recalibration back into some type of community space. I am getting a message too, and it's kind of weird. I wasn't expecting this type of message to come through, but what I'm hearing for some of you, you have to not be careful, but be mindful of the way that you spread your messages or the way that you do your work, because what's coming through for me is it's making me think of how like certain leaders in a community, even though that they're doing good things for the community, like there's always going to be, you know, one or two people, or like maybe even a small group of people that, I don't know, they just like, I feel like there's some people in the world that intend to spread light and healing, and then there's some people who are basically tainted by their darkness, and like, I don't know, it's like they want to keep the community in like that dark energy, or they don't want the people who are trying to spread light to spread their light. And so there is that message here of like being mindful of people with that energy, and just like be mindful of your own energy, and kind of like there's a need for you to accept that you won't be able to heal or fix anyone, especially if these people don't want that healing and they don't want to change. So, you know, be mindful of who and what you spend your energy on. But I do see you being some type of influence in a community. But let's take a look at the rest of your cards. So the next card you guys have is reconciliation and compassion. One of the things that I'm hearing is yeah, I feel like in some type of way, I feel like part of your life purpose is to be some type of counselor. I'm not really sure if this is an actual job that you can have, but one thing that came through, like when I saw this reconciliation card, and this might be a specific thing for a specific person, but I don't know if like someone watching, maybe you were like adopted and you kind of like lost touch with your biological family, and I feel like this maybe inspired you to, because I'm seeing like someone that's, and I don't think this is an actual job, but it's like maybe something that you're very passionate about, and that's like reconciling families or bringing families back together. And another way I feel like this can be like manifested is by being like a family counselor. I see that for you guys as well. Instead of like, is this like an actual thing where like people maybe like in the foster care system, there's like, is it the social workers who do try to work with the parents to kind of, you know, make sure the biological parents kind of like get their self together so they can reunite with their kids, and their kids can come back living with them, you know, in certain situations. I don't know if that's an actual job or not, but that's something that I'm seeing. But for the majority of you, I feel like I'm getting a sense of like part of your purpose is like fixing or mending like broken homes, or, you know, helping the people do the work so there aren't any more broken homes. And of course, you know, people homes are going to be broken no matter what, but there's something about like you kind of being the mediator between two people, like a unit or something, but I'm seeing you being in the middle of it. But yeah, I just get the sense that you guys are, I feel like part of your purpose is being a counselor in some way. I'm also seeing like a, maybe it's a drug counselor or something like that, but like helping people who are maybe addicted to certain substances, people who, I see you like working with people who might be addicted to certain substances, or people who have maybe been casted out, like people like, I see you working with people who have maybe done some things, and now the people around them don't really like have any more faith in them. Kind of like how people, like I'm kind of seeing like how people kind of like look down on like homeless people or people who are addicted to certain substances. And I feel like you guys are more compassionate with these people because you understand that these people, you know, they're not like how they are because they're bad people. They've just had like things happen to them that were maybe outside of their control, or, you know, some things probably were in their control. But I feel like you understand that like a lot of these people, the reason why they don't change is because people have kind of like casted them out and no longer have any more compassion for them. But I just see you like working with people who have been like casted out, and you're trying to get them back into community spaces by helping them kind of like do the work. And I feel like you're not doing the work for them, but it's like you're offering encouragement and support to these groups of people. And the next card you have is ancestor healing. So yeah, with ancestor healing, I feel like maybe for some of you, part of your purpose is kind of helping like families or certain families like heal, kind of like helping them to unlock whatever it is that they need to unlock to help heal their ancestral line. So some of you might end up being, well, part of your purpose is being like some type of spiritual leader, but I don't feel like it necessarily has to be that either. I feel like I don't know, I just get with this pile, like I just see you guys, part of your life purpose is just being some type of counselor or some type of mediator. And like I said earlier, I feel like your purpose is connected to something that you've been able to do or something that you experienced in your past. And I feel like something that you have done is you've been breaking like generational curses. So that's what it is. I feel like you guys are doing. You guys are helping, or part of your life purpose is helping others break ancestral curses or break certain cycles so that there can be healing within some type of family line. So it's like I'm kind of seeing like how, like, if you have a certain plant or something, and there's a leaf or something that's turning yellow or it's about to die or something, and most people kind of like, when they see that, they just want to rip that leaf off or cut it off. And I feel like with you guys, I see you like stepping in and being like, no, we're not going to cut this plant off. We're going to get to the bottom of why this leaf is turning yellow, and we're going to try our best to fix it and give it what it needs. And I'm going to show you how to take care of this plant so it doesn't happen again. And it's like, I know this is kind of like metaphorical, but I see you guys, like, part of your purpose is doing something that kind of aligns with that. If you can kind of like relate it to like people in relationships or people like with families, instead of like cutting these family members off, you're showing them how to take care of this issue, instead of like ignoring it or just trying to like sweep it under the rug. We're going to deal with this family issue so that it doesn't continue to poison this tree or this plant. Actually, I'm going to read from the guidebook because I said I was going to read from, let me get it out. I think I did say that I was going to read for this one. Ancestor healing. Is this in alphabetical order? Okay, so I'm not going to read all of it. I think I'm just going to, I don't know how much I'm going to read. I'm going to read the beginning part though. It says, we hold and carry the lessons and wisdom of our family in our blood and bones, and it is held deeply within our DNA. Tribes from the beginning of times will pray for the 7 generations, both past and present, to assist them in healing the bloodline. Just as we have our own karma to balance and our own lessons to learn, we also hold and carry those of our ancestors, patterns and unresolved physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual issues that can be handed down through the family line. This medicine is a strong sign you are currently undergoing some powerful healing related to your ancestors. Pulling this card can represent that the current challenges in your life could be directly linked to your family and your family's karma. All the wisdom that your ancestors have discovered also runs deep within your bones. It is time for you to bring awareness to your current challenges, as there is a large possibility that they could be hereditary. Once you understand and discover the roots of this karma, deep healing will begin. Your ancestors are always with you, looking out for you, guiding and loving you from the other side, and they are here today to let you know you're not alone. If you have been thinking about a certain family member that has passed, this can be a sign that they are with you. I think I will read the medicine tree, and it says, trees are another powerful medicine of earth, and our connection runs deep. We cannot be able to breathe and exist on earth if it was not for our interconnectedness with the trees. They are the guardians of the land, and they have a spirit and consciousness that is very much alive. Trees also hold the wisdom and stories of our ancestors. The Druids understood the magic of the trees and worked powerfully with them. Each tree has its own energy or medicine that when understood, can be utilized for healing on many levels. Trees are also the vortex by which to travel to the shamanistic energy worlds, allowing us with intention and spiritual practice to enter into the lower, middle, and upper worlds. When we pass the dissolve back into the earth with all our memories and knowledge, the roots of the tree are in the earth. So by connecting to the trees, we connect to the ancient wisdom of our ancestors. So I don't know, maybe for some of you, when it comes to your work, I feel like maybe you are working with your ancestors. But I don't know. I'm also got to, when I was reading that, I feel like you guys are able to, like, I feel like you guys are, like, part of your life purpose is to help people or guide people through their shadow self, or like their like shadow aspects. Because I know, like I know we always tell people all the time to do shadow work, but I honestly don't believe that everyone is capable of doing shadow work on their own. And I feel like that is why, we have people like therapists, like people who are trained professionals. And even though they aren't necessarily working like in the spiritual realm, or like they're not really focused on spirituality, I don't know, maybe that's part of your purpose. If you do consider yourself spiritual, I feel like maybe part of your purpose is like going through the more traditional route and like going to school to be a therapist or something like that. But I also feel like if you do practice spirituality, I'm seeing for some of you, part of your life purpose is combining those things. And I'm also seeing, like, when I was reading the book, I got the message of like some type of natural healing, or like natural medicine and stuff like that. So I know, like, I don't really know, but I'm kind of like seeing how, like, in more like Western medicine, when people are like suffering mentally or something like that, like we tend, well, I don't know if I should say it, but like a lot of the times they kind of like try to push a lot of, you know, man-made medicine onto us. And I feel like with you, like you kind of like part of your purpose is maybe finding a perfect balance between the natural world and also like the Western world, finding a combination of faith and also, faith, science, and science. So yeah, I feel like for some of you, part of your life purpose is maybe being a therapist, but also like being an actual qualified professional, but also using what you know about spirituality and like the spiritual body, in incorporating all of that to bring healing to other people and families. The next card you guys got is Blue Avian's Philosophy, Releasing Karma, and Mysticism. And then you have Golden Ratio, Beauty, Nature, and Patterns. So yeah, I feel like that kind of relates to what I was saying just now about you helping other people to uh, you know, deal with their shadow and stuff. I feel like a lot of times, like, people aren't able to see how their actions are affecting them and affecting, the people around them. And I feel like part of your life purpose is kind of like putting those dots together and connecting, connecting how people's actions are impacting themselves and the people around them. I also feel like part of your life purpose is to help people. Like, I feel like part of your life purpose, in, I don't know, I just get the sense that like your life purpose deeply revolves around community or some type of community space. And I feel like part of it is helping the community to release karma. Because I'm kind of seeing how like there's, like, we see like all of these bad things happening in like certain communities or certain environments and stuff like that. And I don't know, I feel like maybe this is something, like, going back to your original message, I feel like maybe this is something that you've experienced in your past. And so you just have like this deep passion now to kind of like in as many cycles as possible, so that the future generation isn't experiencing these things. And I'm also hearing like suffering in silence. So I feel like if you, part of your purpose, I don't know, maybe you do have a desire to work with children. And because I'm kind of seeing like for some of you, part of your life purpose is giving giving, you know, the younger generation a voice to speak up. And because I'm kind of seeing how, like, I don't know, like, I'm seeing kind of like how in the past, I mean, it's not so much now today, but like in the past, like when children would like act up or you know, speak up on how they were feeling, they were basically told, you know, be quiet, and they were acting up and they were misbehaving, but they were just simply trying to express themselves. And it's kind of in that same energy, and I feel like you guys are working towards giving, I don't know, I just feel like for some of you, part of your life purpose is helping to give like the younger generation a voice and giving them the space to speak up and express themselves so that they aren't acquiring like karmic debt. And I think these are your last two cards, and you have the Seas of Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. And then you have Inner Earth, you'll survive this, new solutions and beginnings. So I feel like for some of you, part of your life purpose is, I think I did see this earlier in your message, but I'm kind of seeing with the Seas of Mintaka, how I was saying how like you kind of, I see you working with people that have maybe given up on themselves, or other people have given up on them and kind of like counted them out. And I don't know, I feel like despite what other people have done, or you know, their bad habits and stuff like that, I feel like you guys still have the ability to see the good in them. You still see other people's potential to bring light into their own lives, and also the community, like when other people just see their bad qualities and basically their darkness. And I feel like you guys do have a gift and I'm hearing also a duty, a calling, whatever you want to call it, to help bring people back to their light and basically help them create a new life for themselves. I feel like part of your life purpose is getting people who have maybe given up on themselves and given up the idea of starting fresh and having something better for themselves. You've given them, your part of your life purpose is to give them a new hope for their future. But I think that's all I'm seeing for you, pile number one. I really hope this message resonated with you, or you're able to take something from it. I appreciate you so much for being here with me today. Like I said in the intro, I'm currently not taking personal readings at this time. So if you'd like to support me, my work, and my channel, you can do so by simply liking and sharing this video. I'd also appreciate it if you subscribe, because I intend to upload at least 3 videos a week. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to pile number 2, and I hope to see you in a future reading. Hello, pile number 2, and welcome to your reading regarding what your life purpose is. One of the first things that I'm hearing for you is, I feel like you're coming to the space looking to know what your life purpose is, because I'm hearing specifically that whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that you're trying to grow right now at this very moment, that is your life purpose. That is what Spirit wants you to do. That is what you've been guided to do. But however, I feel like you're coming to this space wanting to know what your life purpose is, because I feel like for you there is some doubt in regards to if you're on the right path right now. And so one of the first things I feel from Spirit is that they wanted to confirm to you that you are on the right path, and it's important that you don't give up right now, because the seeds that you've planted in regards to your life purpose, they are currently in their germination phase. So you might not be seeing a lot of growth right now at this time. So I feel like you're kind of in this period where you have to have faith that things are working out for you. So I feel like what Spirit wants you to do at this time is, again, don't give up, but to keep doing whatever it is that you're doing and trust that it will pay off for you. I do feel like it's going to require you to have some patience though, and I feel like maybe right now you feel like there isn't a lot of movement or change in regards to whatever it is that you've been working on, and so you've maybe internalized this, the the stagnation as being like a sign that maybe you chose the wrong path, or maybe you're not like fully equipped, or it's kind of like giving like imposter syndrome, where you maybe feel like an imposter in regards to what it is that you're currently working on. But yeah, I'm just getting the message for you that it's just important that you be patient with yourself and give your seeds time to grow. I'm also hearing the word distraction for you guys. So I don't know if there was like a point in your life where maybe you fell off of this path, or you got like distracted, or you tried to go down a different path. And I feel like I don't know, I feel like anytime you try to go off of this specific, the whatever path that you're on now, I feel like anytime you try to like go off of this path, maybe you experience a lot of stagnation in those areas as well. And I feel like it's because spirit didn't want you to go down any other path. I feel like you were meant to um go down the path that you're currently on. So I feel like that's maybe a specific message. So if you've at any point, like I'm kind of saying, you guys, like whatever the specific path is that you're currently on, like you were on that path originally. And I'm seeing for some of you, like you may have like went down a different path, or you chose a different path because you weren't seeing any growth or movement. And so you decided to take a different path, and you didn't see any movement there either. And now you're back on the right path. And again, it's like you're not seeing like the progress that you want to see. But that's the thing, I feel like you are making progress, you are adding wood to the fire. It's just that you're not able to see it. And I think I did said this in a reading like kind of recently, but it's making me think of how like I think it's with trees, and I think it's with most plants anyway, like you don't always see the growth at the top. Like most of the times I think the roots grow first. And so right now I feel like your roots are currently growing, they're growing underground. So this is like growth that you're not able to see or perceive yet. And so you want to be patient because your roots need time to grow. I'm kind of seeing your roots grow and grow and grow. And the thing about like your roots, the more time you give your roots to grow, the stronger and sturdier your tree will be when it finally decides to break through like the barrier of the earth. So just be patient with yourself and understand that you are fully capable of whatever this life purpose involves. Like you are capable of that. And I'm seeing like for some of you, like there's a need for you to, it's kind of giving me like the energy of like I don't know why, but I feel like maybe part of your life purpose is being a speaker or some type of leader. And I don't know, I feel like there is some type of doubt in regards to that. And I feel like that's another reason, or that's another cause of the stagnant energy that you're in, because you are kind of like, I feel like maybe for some of you, like you need to first deal with your imposter syndrome first. It's like once you start to believe in your own abilities, and believe that you're capable of basically achieving, or going after this life purpose, that's when you'll start to see change. But because you don't believe in yourself, or you don't believe that you are capable of this, you're I don't know, it's kind of like you're kind of keeping yourself where you're at. And I feel like spirit wants you to believe and see yourself as capable, because it's almost like I'm hearing like you've been chosen for the specific task. It's making me think of Moses, and how he was chosen. I mean, I honestly don't know why I have all these like Bible references. It might be because I grew up in the church, but basically God chose Moses to go to Egypt basically and free all of his people. And like Moses was like, why me? Like, because I think Moses had like a stuttering problem or something, and he didn't think that, the people, no one was going to listen to him, because he can't, like, he didn't believe in himself, and he didn't believe he could speak. But like God specifically chose him for that task. And basically that's kind of like along the similar lines of that, where like I feel like the divine chose you for this specific task. And so you just kind of like have to trust that, even if you don't trust yourself at this time, you have to like trust that you like were given this specific calling for a reason. Like this path, this life purpose, it found you. You didn't find it. It was meant to come to you. It was meant to come into your life. Let's go ahead and move into your oracle card. So the first card you got is well-being and psychic abilities. So yeah, I feel like for some of you, maybe part of your life purpose is using your psychic abilities in some type of way. Maybe you are just simply psychic. Maybe you have some type of clairvoyance, like maybe you're yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe there's something that I feel like mostly it's like what you're able to see. Like I don't know if you guys get visions or dreams. Maybe you guys are mediums and you're able to, I don't know. I just feel like you guys just, I'm hearing you have like a very strong connection to source. And that's the thing, like we all, like every single human has the ability to connect with source, but for some reason there are people who are able to almost like get like instant communication with source, or for some reason like other people are just a little bit more locked away from it. And I'm hearing for some of you, like at times you kind of doubt your own abilities. Like maybe you think that, maybe you have like this belief that maybe you're crazy or you're imagining things, or it's impossible to like have these like abilities. Like maybe you have like people around you that kind of like um it's because I'm kind of seeing like the energy of like people wanting you to prove yourself. So it's like if you're constantly having to prove yourself and your abilities to other people, it's kind of like playing a trick on your own mind and um almost making you not believe in yourself. And I feel like that's kind of another reason why people are more a little bit more locked away from their connection to source, because of their inability to believe in it. um But I feel like your pile kind of relates to pile number one, and that's what I was kind of talking about in the intro, where I was like saying like some people's life purposes isn't necessarily connected to a career, and it might just be connected to whatever spirit wants from us for the collective. And I feel like with your life purpose and also pile number one's life purpose, I feel like it's like spirit kind of has chosen you guys and also pile number one to bring some type of healing, um and maybe like restoration back to the collective in some type of way. And I feel like with pile number one, it was basically their work with the community, but for you guys, I feel like your life purpose is in regards to you using your psychic abilities. I'm also hearing too, like I feel like some of you, like you have the ability to see into people. Um like I'm seeing like you have the ability to read into people. And I mean, maybe for some of you, like maybe part of your life purpose is maybe you read tarot cards or you're something like that, but I don't feel like you necessarily have to. Like I feel like you just have the ability to read people, or like know their intentions, kind of like maybe tap into their subconscious or something like that. But it's like you just have the ability to tap into people on a different level. um I'm also seeing too, like I'm also hearing like for some of you, maybe you're highly intuitive and like you're able to pick up on how other people are feeling. So maybe some of you are like empaths, because with the well-being card, I'm seeing like there's an importance for you to maybe like get grounded and reconnect with the earth, reconnect with your own body, because I feel like for some of you, like you might have a tendency to allow other people's energies to bleed into your own. And because I'm kind of seeing also like this person's it looks like it's their aura field, and I'm seeing like for some, like you might at times keep yourself a little too open to other people's energies, even if you don't mean to. But other people's energies sometimes like can get into your aura field, and it can cause you to at times get very tired. I'm also hearing like like overstimulated. So it's going to be important for you to, at times, I'm seeing like spend time alone. You're going to need to spend a lot of time in nature. You're going to need to spend a lot of time like meditating and basically re-strengthening your aura field, especially if you do have plans in using your abilities as like a career, or like acting out like your life purpose. And so again, I feel like maybe for some of you that's another cause of your stagnation, because you're just taking in so many other people's energies and you're not doing enough, like you're doing, I'm hearing like you're not doing your due diligence when it comes to like you're like with spiritual maintenance and like cleansing yourself. And so like you now you have like all of this outside energy kind of like weighing you down, and it's keeping you from moving the way that you want to move. So I feel like that's a message from spirit to make sure that you are taking care of yourself spiritually, especially if you desire to help other people, or be some type of spiritual leader or spiritual healer or something like that. Like you have to be your number one priority, because if you don't take care of yourself spiritually, then you won't be able to fulfill your duty. You won't be able to help other people in the way that you want to. The next card you have is Soul Retrieval. And it also says Middle World too. So yeah, I feel like I'm hearing for some of you, like you have the ability to connect with spirits. So I don't know. So I feel like for some of you in this pile, maybe you guys are mediums in some type of way, because I see like you guys have the ability to travel in and out of the spirit world. I'm also hearing like some of you have the ability to tap into your Akashic records. So because I'm kind of seeing like some of you, like you have like a stronger connection to your past life selves than other people. If that's something that you believe in. I know not everyone believes in reincarnation, because they're like, I don't remember like my past lives, and I don't believe that everyone is able to reconnect with their past selves. And I feel like you guys have a closer relationship to your past self. I feel like you guys have the ability to recall more pieces of your past life than other people. And I feel like you also have the ability to do so for other people. So that's something you might be able to include within your life purpose, is helping other people recall their past lives. And I feel like you'll be able to, and this is also kind of related to pile number one, because I feel like part of their purpose is also helping other people like clear out their karmic debt, but it's just in a different way. So I feel like part of your life purpose is to help people basically connect to their past selves and also their soul, so that they can get to the bottom of basically their karma. And I don't say karma in like a negative way, because we all have karma. We all have like either positive, well, I don't even want to say positive or negative karma, because I don't believe the universe sees it in that way. It's just simply karma. Like karma is just simply energy. And when I say like karmic debt, I mean like, yeah, it's basically like the energy that kind of goes against them. It's like basically acquired by going against your soul, depending on what you did in like past lifetimes and also in this lifetime. And basically like the more karmic debt you have, like it kind of limits your spirit's ability to be free and have autonomy over itself. So yeah, I feel like for some of you, like part of your life purpose is helping people with this. And I read from the guidebook for pile number one, and I'm gonna do the same for you, and I'll see like what else comes through. So let me find Soul Retrieval 29. So I think I'm gonna read the Oracle, and then and then I'll read Middle World. So let's see what it says. You have attracted this card today as there is an opportunity for you to receive a soul retrieval healing. Throughout life, we all at some point experience a trauma that can create a fracture in our energy. Most people can look back on their life and pinpoint an experience that shaped them differently and caused them to relate to life in a different way. When we experience a frightening event or trauma, a piece of us a positive aspect is frozen and left in that time and placed within that energy body. Healers and shamans work powerfully to heal those fractures using a process called soul retrieval. This is where they travel through timelines to the spirit world to retrieve this energy and bring it back into the physical and into the present moment, where this energy can heal and hear the original fracture at a deep level. Do you feel like a part of you is missing? Do you have a memory of a trauma that keeps raising its head? Do you feel unsettled as though you're in need of some healing? Now is the time to reconnect to the positive energy that you had before the traumatic experience. It's time to heal this old trauma so you can free yourself from this fragmented energy in your life. It's time to reclaim this aspect of yourself and live your life with a deeper sense of peace. Make sure that you do the ceremony to assist you in this process, or find a healer or shaman to work with you. So I feel like for some of you, part of your life purpose is to be some type of a healer or shaman. It's making me think of like people, I think, did I say this in pile number one? I feel like I said this already. But I feel like for some people, like we hear all the time to tell people to like they need to do their shadow work, but I feel like sometimes like there are people who aren't able to do shadow work because like shadow work isn't something that's easy to do, and I feel like there are some people who do need assistance with it. They need someone to walk them through the process, and it doesn't mean that they're weaker, it just means that they need some assistance. Because maybe I shouldn't like discuss this, but I do believe that there are some people who develop substance abuse problems, or they decide to in their life experience because they're not able to deal with their shadows. So yes, some people do need assistance. Some people do need a shaman or a light worker to help guide them through that process. And I feel like for some of you, part of your purpose is to help people with that. And I feel like that is another reason why I feel like Spirit wants you to be mindful and protect your own energy, because I think I mentioned this earlier, but your life purpose isn't something to be taken lightly. And often, you don't want to, some people might have like darker energy or heavier energy, and you don't want to carry that around with you. So especially if you are experiencing a lot of stagnancy in your life right now, maybe look into doing some type of cleanse, maybe taking a bath like with some salt or something. Or I'm seeing like an egg cleanse. I've never tried that, but typically when I want to do a cleanse, I just take like a salt bath with some Florida water. But yeah, there's different ways that you can cleanse yourself. But yeah, try looking into that. But I'm gonna read also Middle World and see what that says. And it says the middle world is another world the shamans would journey into to receive specific medicine and energy for healing. This world is the spiritual realm of the physical plane, or the non ordinary reality. Healers and shamans will travel there to connect to the spirits of everything in nature and receive the energy medicine of things as the mountains, planets, crystal moon, sun, the elements, trees, and everything that exists on the earthly plane. You can also travel down the timeline in the middle world to connect to the energy of the experiences that have happened in life. Many healers work within this realm to facilitate soul retrieval and heal issues and traumas of the past and future. You can travel to this world by calling upon your power animal, closing your eyes, and dropping into a trance-like state with the intention of traveling to this sacred realm and allowing your spirit to leave your body. So with that, I feel like maybe for some of you, and I think I did say this at the beginning of your reading, but I feel like some of you just have a stronger connection to source. And I feel like with that, you guys have the ability to download information to help other people heal. So like it's making me think of how like other people maybe they have to like read books or take courses to learn about like the healing properties of certain plants and stuff. But I feel like for you, like you're able to download this information. For some of you, maybe you've You're able to recall certain information from past life versions of yourself. It's making me think of that. And it's also making me think of pile number one too, but I feel like with pile number one, like yeah, they have like spiritual aspects of it where I was talking about like they're able to blend like spirituality and like their faith and mix it with actual science and like Western medicine and stuff like that. Like there's a mixture of something like that. But I feel like with you guys, like it's mostly spiritual. Like you guys are spiritual healers, and you may not have like certain qualifications or like certificates or anything like that or licenses, but your I feel like part of your purpose is to heal people, like heal more so like their spiritual bodies. And I feel like your message is kind of running long, but I feel like the need to also say like how sometimes our spiritual bodies can become out of whack and it can wreak a lot of havoc in our physical bodies' lives. And I feel like you guys are able to look into people and like see their spirit and see where it's hurting and where it needs healing. And you're able to bring more harmony into other people's lives by being able to look at other people's spirit. And the next card you have is crop circles, messages, curiosity, and signs. And then you have Ouroboros, infinity, eternal, past lives. I feel like I first want to talk about Ouroboros because it's making me think of life cycles. And I feel like with you guys, I feel like you kind of have a tendency to go through many life cycles. It's like birth, life, and death cycles. And I feel like you kind of, even though I'm not talking about like past lives or anything like that, I'm talking about like in this lifetime, this current reincarnation, like you experience something like that so many times. And I feel like every time you do it, you become more wiser and more knowledgeable, and you acquire more resources that you need in order to help other people. I also feel like through these cycles you also gain more gifts, more spiritual gifts as well. But with crop circles, it's making me think of like pattern recognition and how like not a lot of people have that. And so basically like pattern recognition is your ability to read patterns and put things together. And it's making me think of what I'm currently doing, where I'm taking like these different pieces and creating a message with it. Because I feel like people kind of like have this idea, like when I say like I hear um and feel different messages when I'm and it's hard to explain it, but it's like I don't like okay, so let me think. How can I explain what I'm experiencing when I'm channeling messages? Because it's not like I'm getting a full picture. It's like I'm getting like different pieces. It's like I'm getting different pieces of a puzzle together. And that's why I kind of like feel like I struggle a little bit with readings, because it's, I don't know, like I have a hard enough time like putting what I hear or what I'm receiving in my head into words, like when I'm just speaking in regular conversation. But it's even harder for me to do so when I'm channeling messages from spirit, because I mean sometimes the messages are very clear and direct, but most of the time I'm just like putting like pieces and little signs and symbols together in or certain feelings, and I'm bringing context to those feelings in a way some that I'm able to deliver some type of message. And I don't know if that came out clear or not, but I feel like you guys kind of are able to do the same. Like you're able to put like pieces of the puzzle, pieces that spirit or the divine sends you, and you're able to put those things into some type of context to help other people. So it's like if the divine is speaking to you in a different language, because that's oftentimes what it feels like to me. It feels like I'm basically translating a foreign language that is like only me and the divine knows, and I'm basically translating that language to the collective or whoever I'm doing a reading for in a way that they can understand it. And I feel like you guys, part of your life purpose is doing the same. I feel like part of your purpose is putting the pieces of people's lives, like they're not able to put these pieces together, like they're not able to connect certain things together to kind of make a whole picture for themselves. And I feel like part of your purpose is to help other people with that. Okay, so we're moving into your last card. So yeah, you have water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. And earth pulsing, pulse of the mother, slow down, time and nature. I think I did say this earlier in your reading, but I do think you do need to take some time to you're gonna need to spend a lot of time in nature and reconnecting to the earth. I'm getting the message some of you are probably working very close with Mother Earth right now, and I feel like maybe that is one of your spirit guides or a deity that you need to work with. But I feel like Mother Earth is working with you to bring healing. I'm here also hearing like restore balance to the collective consciousness. I don't know why, but I'm also hearing like new earth. I don't want to like fearmonger or anyone, but I don't know why, but I'm getting this message of how like a lot of people are like right now as we currently like experience life, like especially if you watch news. I don't watch news, but I do get like stuff tends to find me, and I feel like for most people it can seem really scary, but I feel like I don't know, I feel like mostly it's like we're resetting the karmic balance of our earth, and I feel like you are chosen to help. I don't know, I feel like in some type of way you're being chosen to help with this rebalance. um I don't know why I'm getting the message you're like an awakened soul, and you're helping to part of your purpose is to help awaken other souls and um basically live in balance or help reset the scale so that humans live the way that we're supposed to live. I don't know what that message was about. That was a weird message that came through, but I felt like I had to say it. But yeah, I think I did also mention earlier in your reading, I feel like it's going to be really important for you to one connect with Mother Earth, because I feel like again you're meant to work with Mother Earth, and I'm actually hearing you're meant to work in direct command under Mother Earth. So it's important that you connect with her and listen to her so that you're able to move accordingly to like how she wants you to operate. Um, so I don't know if you have like some type of platform where you share your messages or you do your work. But I feel like it's gonna be important that you tap into Mother Earth and see what she wants you to share. But I also feel like it's gonna be important for you to find time for yourself and to reconnect with yourself, because even though I feel like part of your life purpose is helping other people to, heal and dive into their shadow, that doesn't necessarily mean that you've done all the work that you needed to do within yourself. Like you still need to take time out to continue to work on yourself and do the inner work that you need to do, but you also need to find time for rest and to fill your own cup up. I'm also seeing too, like maybe you might have, because you feel like this is your life purpose, I feel like you might have a tendency to neglect certain things like getting your proper sleep, eating and drinking water when you need to eat and drink water. So I don't know why, but I'm telling you right now to drink some water. I don't know if it's been a while since you drank some water, or I don't know if you've been like working or something, but I felt like the divine wanted me to remind you right now to go get some water or some tea or something and hydrate yourself. Um, but yeah, I think that's all I have for you, pile number 2. I appreciate you so much for watching. I hope this message resonated with you, or you were able to take something from it. Like I said in the intro, I'm currently not taking personal readings at this time. But if you'd like to support me, my work on my channel, you can do so by simply liking and sharing this video with anyone you think may benefit from hearing this message or any of the other messages. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to pile number 3. I also welcome you to subscribe, because I do intend on uploading at least 3 videos a week, and I don't want you to miss anything. But until the next reading, I will see you later. Hello, pile number 3, and welcome to your reading. I have here all of your tarot cards, and we'll get to your oracle cards at the end. So you guys got the Two of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, and the Hermit. One of the first things that I heard with you guys is I feel like at this time you might be currently experiencing burnout, or you've experienced burnout in the past. But one of the first messages that came through is I feel like you're kind of at this point where you need to decide if you're going to continue to give to other people or you're going to give to yourself, because I feel like there was a time where you were trying to balance both. You were trying to balance taking care of other people or doing what other people think you should do or doing what other people want you to do, and you were trying to balance that with taking care of yourself. But I feel like it's gotten to a point where it's becoming too much for you to handle. And I feel like we kind of have this idea of like when people say like fill up your cup so that you can continue to give to other people, but you have to like have time, you have to have the energy for it. So even taking care of yourself does it, even though you're taking care of yourself, it still requires some type of energy to you. So if you're trying to help other people or fill up other people's cups, and you're also trying to fill your own cup, you're going to spend energy no matter what. Like, you don't get that energy back by taking care of yourself. So I feel like this sense like you're like, I don't know, it's like you're just doing too much at this current point in time. I'm also getting the message that it kind of feels like wherever it is that you currently are in life, it feels like there's just like this disconnect from yourself. I feel like I'm getting the sense that you feel like you're not aligned with your soul anymore. You might be in a space where you are confused or you just don't know. And I feel like it's not that. I just feel like there's this disconnect with your soul, and it's like it's creating this confusion, it's creating this feeling of being lost. I'm also hearing like soul retrieval, so I feel like you're kind of like at this breaking point where you kind of have to retrieve your soul again, and in order to do so, it's going to require that you be completely selfish and use your own discernment, and it's up to you to like make your own decision. But I feel like for some of you, I can like see for some of you like you're contemplating leaving a certain job or leaving behind a certain responsibility. I'm also hearing too like maybe some of you like you're reaching this point where like you're realizing that the things that you're currently responsible for, you're kind of like questioning if you actually have to be responsible for these things. It's kind of like I'm hearing like the question like, is this worth it? I don't know if like, because I did say at the very beginning of your reading that I feel like some of you may have experienced burnout, or you're currently experiencing burnout. And I feel like if you are, I feel like it's like your wake-up call for you to pay attention to your spirit and to realign with their spirit. But I feel like you've kind of like reached this point where you're realizing that you can't continue to do it all or have it all. And I feel like you're even questioning, is it really worth it? Like, do I really have to have it all, or can I like simplify things? And I feel like what your soul desires is a more simple life. I don't know why, but it's giving me like the energy of like people who decide that they don't want to like work their life away in order to spend their whole paychecks on like rent and stuff, and so they decide to like live out of their cars or move out into the jungle with like no electricity and stuff like that, and they realize that like their life can be so much simple and it just gives their spirit more space and they have more energy to fill their own cup. But it's like, I don't know, it's the energy that I'm getting from you guys. It feels like you guys are in, like, it doesn't even feel like you have like a specific life purpose or a specific calling. I feel like right now your calling is, it just feels like your calling right now is to just stop. I feel like you guys are also in this energy where, yeah, I feel like kind of going back to what I just said, where like, especially if you are experiencing burnout, I feel like this burnout that you're experiencing, I don't know if it had like some type of impact on your health, or you got sick, or maybe you were just like got so burnt out and exhausted to the point where you couldn't move. I'm also seeing like some type of like chronic thing, like some type of chronic pain you might be experiencing, or um like I'm hearing like autoimmune disease or something like that. But again, I feel like whatever this is, whatever impact this burnout has caused on your life, I feel like it's created like this huge pause in your life where you have no other choice but to slow down and look at yourself and reflect on what's truly important to you and your soul at this time. But yeah, let's go ahead and start taking a look at your oracle cards. So the first thing you have is dreams, and then you have justice. I'm hearing for some of you, like, up until this point, I feel like you haven't been doing your dreams justice. I feel like for some of you, you've been putting off certain dreams, and being like, I'll get to them when I make this happen, or when I save up this amount of money, then I'll go after my dreams or what I truly want. And it's just like you've constantly been putting certain conditions ahead of yourself and your dreams. And yeah, I feel like spirit has kind of like come in and kind of like, I don't know, like you kind of you put these boundaries and obstacles in front of your dreams, and so like spirit had to come through and basically knock away all of these boundaries out of the way, because I feel like spirit kind of realized that you were putting boundaries between you and your own spirit. And I feel like spirit was like, well, the divine was like enough is enough, like you cannot continue on this way. And so you came here for a specific reason. You came here to bring these dreams and turn them into reality. And I feel like spirit kind of like came in to keep you or kick you out of your own way. I'm also hearing too, like there's something about like you, like I don't know, I'm also hearing it's like giving me the energy of, like, you were always saying like something was in the way, or there was something always like preventing you from going after a certain dream. And I feel like, again, like these are just like mostly excuses. These are like boundaries just created by you, but they weren't true barriers. I'm trying to figure out like why it was that you were creating these barriers to begin with. But I'm also getting to, like, there was an aspect of your life. It was almost like you were okay, so this is a weird message. It was like you were looking at your life from the outside. So it was like you maybe you were receiving like certain downloads or dreams about like what you wanted your dream life to look like and feel like, and what you wanted to experience. And it's like you were looking at these things from the outside instead of being fully involved in those dreams. I don't know why, but I feel like for maybe some of you, like you felt like looking at your dreams from the outside was a safer option than to actually live out. Because I'm kind of seeing like your dreams are like on the outside of this building, and for some reason, you just feel safer, like walled up in, like just it feels safer to look look from the inside at your dreams than it is to actually live and experience those dreams. Even though you do desire to do so, it's just, I don't know, it's like, maybe it's just that, like, you're not able to step outside of your comfort zone. Because whatever, but I don't know, that's the thing though. Like, I feel like this compromise that you've been doing, these boundaries that you created around yourself, and it's caused you to burn yourself out. And I don't know why, but I do get the sense, for maybe for some of you, like, this burnout did create some type of, even if it was just like a cold or something, it created some type of inconvenience for yourself in your life. It put you in a space where you actually weren't comfortable, but for some reason you still feel like choosing what feels safest to you is the better option, even though it's spiritually not better for you. But let's look at your next card. You have self-mastery, and it's a spider, and I'm going to read from the guidebook for you guys, because I read from the guidebook for pile number 1 and 2. So let's see what it says. Okay, so you have self-mastery, and it says, you are your own master, always have been and always will be, and it's time to embrace all of who you are in its totality. This card is a sign that it's time to take your mastery to a whole new level. Life is full of opportunities and lessons that guide us to the realization that everything we require lies within, and we have our own answers to our questions. When we take the time to honor and awaken the master within, only then does this aspect of ourselves have the opportunity to shine in its full glory. To master something takes time, commitment, discipline, strength, and courage, and you have these aspects available to you at all times in abundance. Have you been looking outside of yourself for the answers? Are you going through some challenging and uncomfortable situations in your life? Are you being tested around your values? There are all powerful signs you're awakening to a deeper sense of your own self-mastery. You are asked to be patient with yourself through this time as a deeper sense of clarity bursts within you. You're connecting deeply to your inner wisdom and weaving your magic into the world on the deepest level. It's time to accept, honor, and trust yourself in this powerful process as you step deeply into your mastery. And I'm gonna read the medicine spider, but first I do want to say, I feel like for some of you, like, part of the reason why you burnt yourself out is, I believe that maybe this is about like a life purpose, but I wasn't getting anything specific, but I feel like I'm getting the energy of, like, maybe you're working a certain job, like you have a 9 to 5, but you also have like this creative side project that you've been trying to bring to life. And I'm not saying for you guys to like up and quit, only take this message ever resonates, but I do believe that whatever this like creative side project or whatever it is, I believe that it does have the ability to be like able to support you, but I don't feel like you're able to see it, or there's still like this fear of taking that like leap of faith in standing on whatever it is. And I feel like you'll know whether or not like this creative project is ready for you to stand on or not. But I am getting like specifically that there are people who are watching this pile that whatever this creative project that you created for yourself, it is able to sustain you. It is stable enough for you to be supported by it. But for some reason, you've convinced yourself that it's not. And because I don't know, because I feel like for some of you, like, things may be picking up in regards to this creative project, so you're trying to use your energy to continue to sustain that, but you have this fear that it's not sustainable, so you're continuing to maybe like work your 9 to 5, and again, like, it's creating this burnout. So I feel like spirit is kind of calling you that, I don't know, I feel like for someone, like, you worked on this, like you've been working towards creating a dream life where you can like support yourself through like maybe this creative side project or other creative side projects or whatever, like some type of thing that you are working towards. And I feel like spirit is trying to get you to step into this dream life that you've created for yourself, but there's still this fear there, that it's going to maybe fall apart or break apart. And I don't know, like you'll be left with like some type of destruction. So you're choosing to continue to go about things the way that you have been, but it's creating like this burnout for you. Yeah, let's look at the medicine, which is spider, and it says spiders are ancient creatures that have been around in abundance for millions of years. Spider is a powerful ally in medicine to support and assist us in weaving our medicine and mastery into the world. She reminds us to be patient with ourselves in the process, that we are deeply connected to and part of the web of life and all this divine wisdom, and can access this wisdom at will. When spider shows up, it's time to tune into your mastery and birth it into your world. So yeah, with you having like self-mastery, I feel like you have mastered whatever this is. Like, I don't know, and I don't know, this kind of reminds me of like Pile Number 2 a little bit too, where I feel like they were dealing with some now I can't even think of the word because I had it with them. Where they were like dealing with some imposter syndrome. I feel like maybe you are experiencing something a little bit similar to them, even though I feel like energetically, like you guys are a little bit more advanced when it comes to your life purpose than they are. I feel like I feel like with Pile Number 1, they're still working towards their life purpose, but with you, I feel like you're being called to actually stand and be in your life purpose. Like you've been maybe working towards it already, and I feel like right now you're being called by spirit to stand in your purpose. The next card you have is Andromedans, I think I pronounced that right, but it says autonomy, free will, and manifestation. And then you have Vesica Pisces, I think that's how it's pronounced, but it says divine feminine, birthing, and fertility. Okay, so I feel like with you, I feel like what spirit is trying to call you to do is to claim what's inherently yours. So whatever this creative project is, or whatever this new life that spirit is trying to bring you to, I feel like it's inherently yours, but I feel like you are reluctant to accept your inheritance. Like I'm kind of like seeing your inheritance is just like sitting in the bank collecting dust, and you're like continuing to struggle and barely make ends meet for yourself. And yeah, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like spirit is kind of trying to call you to bring your power back to yourself. And I don't feel like you're trying to create a new life for yourself. I feel like you've attracted a new life for yourself, but I feel like you're not in the energy to accept it for some reason. And so I feel like that's kind of like what spirit is calling you to do, to be more accepting of what you've been able to manifest. I'm also hearing too, like spirit is, I feel like you're being called to a life where you don't have to answer to anyone. So that's why I kind of got like this vibe of you maybe like being called to quit your 9 to 5 or something like that. But I feel like you're now, like whatever this side project was or whatever that you were working on, I feel like it's created a space for you to be your own boss, your own leader, and basically to work on your own terms. And for some reason this feels a little bit scary for you. I don't know, maybe you feel like the success that you've been able to create and acquire for yourself will run out. But I don't feel that's the truth. I don't think that's the truth, because I feel like once you step fully into this new life for yourself, you're going to continue to attract what's meant to be yours. But yeah, let's take a look at your last two cards, and you have Earth, learning how to be human in the world but not of it. And then you have Cracked Open, Rock Bottom, Surrender to the Alchemy of Life. I feel one of the first things I'm hearing is, it feels like I'm hearing from Spirit, like, don't be afraid of falling, don't be afraid of failure, because I'm hearing like that fear is going to, like, the fear that you have of failing is what's going to create you to fail. I feel like Spirit wants you to have more faith in, of course, like the divine and also yourself. But I feel like your spirit is trying to break free from a role or a mask that it's been wearing, or a role that it's been playing. Like, I feel like you've come to a point where, like, this mask that you've been wearing, it no longer fits, and you're trying to like force it to fit. But I feel like your soul is like trying to expand, and I feel like it's going to create more and more discomfort for you the more you continue to try to force it to fit. And I feel like, again, it's like Spirit is just trying to like usher you along into your new life. I'm also hearing too, like, right now, currently in your life, the rules that apply to most people, you no longer have to abide by those rules anymore, because you surpassed them. Like, you've learned what you need to learn from those rules. So yeah, I'm hearing it's time for you to create a new set of rules for yourself, moving forward in your life, in regards to like you living out your life purpose. But that's all I'm seeing for you, pawn number 3. I really hope this message resonated with you, or you were able to take something from it. I appreciate you so much for watching and being here with me today. Like I said in the intro, I'm currently not taking personal readings at this time, so if you'd like to support me, my work, and my channel, you can do so by simply liking and sharing this video with anyone you think may benefit from it. I'd also appreciate it if you subscribe, because I intend on uploading at least 3 videos a week, and I don't want you to miss out on any of those readings as well. But yeah, I hope to see you in a future reading, and until next time, I will see you later.